What would the world look like if China wins the artificial intelligence race in the future? A sci-fi novel lays it out. NTD spoke to Nollan Lee, author of Quantum Peril. He explains what's at stake if the U.S. doesn't dominate the technology of the future. Let's dive in. Nollan Lee, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you on the show.
Hey, great to be here.
Now, of course, we've been seeing a lot about AI with ChatGPT and such in the headlines, but there's also talks about the, say, tech race between the U.S. and especially China when it comes to things like quantum and supercomputers. Now, you actually have a sci-fi novel out called Quantum Peril that kind of talks about what would happen if China wins this race in the future. Tell us about your book, but what inspired you to write this?
Yeah, so Quantum Peril takes place more than 30 years in the future, and I basically wanted to explore what the world would look like if, projecting out trends that we see today, 30 plus years, with China investing heavily in AI and starting to really outpace a lot of our own investments in terms of, dollars and resources, what that looks like in the global stage. And I work in AI. I've been studying AI for the last decade. So I've been thinking a lot about AI as a competitive edge in the United States. And I view this as a hugely important topic that could really change the balance of global power if China catches up and starts using AI for nefarious reasons.
Even if it is a work of fiction, it does seem to be a good tool, if you will, in terms of foreshadowing the threats that we could be facing in the almost near future here. What would you like viewers or audiences to walk away? What's the main message you would like them to take away from your book?
Yeah, so me personally, as a Chinese American, I wanted to write this novel to raise awareness about potential threats to not only the United States, but the rest of the world coming from China and the CCP. I think it's important to distinguish between the CCP and the Chinese people. And I'd want people to really think about how we're conducting the United States, how we're governing it, and look at the risks to our country if we mismanage our country over the next couple of decades, because every misstep that we make provides an opportunity for the CCP to essentially catch up to us technologically and militarily. And if you read the novel, you'll see that the world looks like a very different place if the USA falls into number 2 or number 3. We really need a strong United States at the front in order to not only continue our own way of life, but to make sure that freedom and democracy have a place in the world.